This is the newest wave. I picked this up yesterday. Set, I'm sorry, October 26th. So the last time I reviewed a wave was about a month ago. I expect to see the next wave show up either next month or at the beginning of December. But for now, the figures in the wave include Tony Stark, Iron Man, which is a repaint of the Extremist armor with a removable head. This is number 22. Then we got Iceman. It's pretty cool if you look at the packaging. There's like some waves that you might be able to see. It's supposed to look like ice. So this is figure number 23. It's actually it's a repaint of the Iceman from the Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends line. You can tell by his boxy head. Then we got the next figure, which is Absorbing Man. This is number 24. This is actually the variant. Why do I say the variant? Because if you look at the back of the packaging, you'll see that the picture of the figure is the metallic version. If you know, or if you look at my review of the wave that included Cable, the variant with Cable and the baby had the picture on the back, while the Cable without the baby had the picture of Cable without the baby in the back. That's Absorbing Man. Then you get Astonishing Wolverine, which is a repaint of the X-Force Wolverine in his astonishing colors. And the last figure, oh yeah, Wolverine is number 25. The last figure in this wave is Magneto. I am Magneto. This is supposed to be Ultimate Magneto. He uses the AIM soldier body, and I think that's the Secret Wars Magneto head and cape, but he does still have the AIM collar, which kinda sucks. See, I think I'm losing focus. And Magneto is number 26. I got these guys from Target for the low price of $9.95. I can't recall the case assortment, but let me see if I think of it. When I went on the pegs, I think they might have opened 2 cases. There was about 3 Absorbing Men, 2 Magnetos. There was like, I think 3 or 2 Icemen, a couple Wolverines, and a couple of Iron Mans. The peg warmer for this series are both Iron Man and Astonishing Wolverine, because I went back to Target today to see if I picked up another Iceman, but Iceman, Absorbing Man, and Magneto, they were gone. But the another thing is that I went to Forbidden Planet on Monday, and they did have Iron Man and Absorbing Man, but they had the gray Absorbing Man, which if it's still there, I'll see if I pick it up. I probably won't open it, but figure's the same, the color is different. I know that my videos are a little long. Blogger Iok from that figure said that my last review was long, and these reviews are kind of long. 40 minutes is like asking too much for a person to put their attention on. That's why I usually use the white separators for each section, so that you could go to the section you want. But I'm gonna see if I put these history parts, because I tend to ramble. I'm gonna see if I put them in on my Hyperactive Comics channel. First up is figure number 22 of series 3. It's Iron Man. Tony Stark Iron Man. So this is basically the same body as the Extremist Iron Man. I don't know if the Extremist can look as up as this one can. This is good for flying poses. So it's his head is on the ball joint. His head is on a ball joint. It goes up and down like that. His shoulders can rotate. They're ball jointed. He has these little bits of armor on his shoulders. His arms bend. There's only one point of bend at the elbow. Swivel wrist on both sides. He has a mid-torso joint. He has pegged hips, but they're kind of tight, like a tiger. Double jointed knees. And I think he has swivel ankles. I don't know if it's the armor or what, but his ankles can't move that much. So that's it for Iron Man. Iceman has a swivel neck, and you can see the joint in the back of his head. He has ball jointed shoulders. You could see the joint, which is pretty cool. One of the things I like about translucent figures is that you can see what they're made of, like sterner stuff. He has 1 point elbow, bicep swivel, mid-torso joint. He has pegged hips, swivel wrist, and the hips are pretty good. They're not like Iron Man where they want to sling back. I don't know why that happens, but it happens on a lot of Marvel Universe figures. It looks dainty. You get double jointed knees and a swivel ankle, a ball jointed ankle, kinda. So that's it for Iceman. He has a ball jointed head. It's a large head. Ball jointed head. Swivel biceps. Ball jointed shoulders. Only 1 point of articulation in the elbow. A lot of Marvel Universe figures only have 1 point. It's weird to see double jointed elbows. Swivel wrist. Mid-torso joint. I like his pants. Has his legs can bend. He has pegged hips and double jointed knees. Yeah. He also has I think they're ball jointed ankles. And that's it for Absorbing Man. I've already done this body before in the X-Force action figure 3-pack. So all the articulation's the same. There, I saved you some time. But he looks pretty awesome. And you know, he works with a stand. I guess that's for the accessories part, but just in case I forget. So Magneto has a ball jointed head. Let me see. He has a ball jointed head. The upper part of his neck is on a swivel. He has ball jointed shoulders. Swivel bicep. One point of articulation in the elbow. Swivel hands. A trigger finger. Which is not cool. See, that hand is made for holding a gun. He has a mid-torso joint. And has pegged hips with swivel thighs. Which I think this is the first mode to introduce swivel thighs. Has double jointed knees and ball jointed ankle. Which comes in really handy for those flying poses. First, as always, we have Iron Man number 22. Comes with his base. And he has a repulsor blast that clips onto his arm like this. Repulsor blast. And his second accessory is his extra head, which is pretty cool. All you have to do to switch the heads is, remember, don't force it. So now you have the extra Tony Stark head. You take the Iron Man Extremis head and just plop it on. There. Well, just insert. And there you go. It has the same range of motion as the Tony Stark head. So that's it for Iron Man's accessories. Next up is Iceman. Iceman's accessory is the same as Iron Man's, but painted blue to represent ice. You can also use these to make ice cream. So just like Tony Stark's repulsor, all you have to do is clip it on the wrist and ice beam. Looks pretty good when you don't see how lame it is attached to the arm. But like that in a forward shot, it looks cool. Arctic attack. And Iceman also comes with his base that says Iceman. It's two words, which is weird. I know Iceman is always one word, but for some reason whoever decided to say work on that base, they said ice and man. Next up, we get the Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man comes with this ball and chain. That's not his wife. Kong. The ball is made out of hollow plastic, and the chain is made out of plastic. I'm sure with some heating up it could be bended into shape, but right now it has this curve in it. At the end you have this little nub, which I'm guessing I guess with the hand. Just try to place it between two links, and you should be on your way to demolishing with your ball. There you go. Balls to the wall. Or to the floor. So the accessory is too heavy for Absorbing Man to keep in the air. And his fingers are bending pretty well. Like that. I'm gonna get you with my ball. So yeah, don't expect it to stay in his hand. It's too heavy for him, even though it's made out of hollow plastic. Next guy we have is Wolverine, who includes no accessories save for his base. Wolverine 25. I guess if you want to count the claws as his accessories. What I did with my favorite of favorites, Team X Wolverine, I cut off his claws. If you want, you could buy an extra Wolverine and do that. All I did was use a basic nail cutter. So now he looks cool with a gun, because it's not like, why are you using a gun when you have claws? So yeah, I guess you can count his claws as accessories, but that's stretching it a bit. And the last, last in our roster, we have Magneto, the master of magnetism. Magneto comes with zilch, just like Wolverine. It looks like, I was gonna say it looks like the mutants don't have anything with them, but Iceman has his ice funnel. If you want, you can make believe this is magnetic polarity and use it, but no. So just his base. He has his cape, which I'm sure with some effort is removable. Does have this fold, that means it's from the Secret Wars. And that's about it. That's it for the articulation. Next up, face sculpt. That's it for the articulation. Next up, face sculpts. So we have the Extremis head still on him since the last segment. It's well sculpted, but combined with the neck, it looks a little off. One of the things I look for when I pick a figure is the face sculpt. The paint on the face. So it's a pretty decent job on this Iron Man. So now we have the Tony Stark face. I had a bit of a fear changing the heads that I was gonna snap the little peg, so I don't know. He's a peg warmer, so if I break him, I think I'll be able to find another quick, but still I don't want to break an action figure, because then I won't be able to put any of the heads on. But unlike the Iron Man head, I think this head looks good with the body. There is a bit of a slop of paint here on the side of the face, but otherwise it looks pretty good, pretty dashing. And one of the things I noticed about Iceman is that his eyes are painted. If you look closely, he has silver paint in his eyes, which is pretty cool. They didn't have to do that, but it's there. I'm guessing it's the same kind of silver paint that they used for the X on his body, because he does have some slop down here on the back of his butt and some paint on the top of his head. But it's a cool head sculpt. I like it. I like the squareness of it and the fact that he's happy. But because it's translucent, it's kind of hard to get the details. I like the sculpt. Like I've mentioned before, I liked the sculpt when I saw him packaged with Dr. Doom. For some reason, which is probably why he's a criminal, his head is large and pointy. It's one of his distinct features, but I'm thinking it's like something that drives him to be criminally insane or whatever. I didn't like the paint applications on the Secret Wars figure, so this one, he looks pretty good. He's pretty decent. The eyes are alright. There's nothing wrong. No slop there. Wolverine has a cool head sculpt. I think that Hasbro probably took the mold from Marvel Legends Wolverine from the Apocalypse wave and used it on, and reduced the scale and used it on these Wolverines. The one from X-Force and this one, the Astonishing Wolverine. There's a bit of slop on his nose, but this was the best paint that I could find. There's a mini mate that's touted as Dark Magneto, where the inside of his mask is all black and you can only see his grinning teeth and his eyes. I think they tried to do that with this Magneto, but it just comes off as weird. It's like he took a bath, but I mean, like he went out to play in the dirt and then came home and took a bath, but only cleaned some parts of his face. The helmet is well sculpted. The little thingy, the little horns on top. And the paint on the helmet seems to stop here, not continue around on the back of the helmet. But that's the old school Magneto look. I don't know. I think we need a new Magneto. I don't like the face. All the faces were like this. This was the best one that I could get. Some of them, like you see, he has a little blotch on his nose. Some of them were worse, but you know what they say, beggars can't be choosers. So what's the bad about this wave? What would you want to avoid? One thing is that we get Iron Man in this extremis armor, which is here in New York, it's a peg warmer. Some dude's been returning these Marvel Universe figures, and he's flooding the shelves of this one Target with the extremist Iron Man. Granted, you don't get an extra head, which is like, I think it's the first time ever for Marvel Universe to have like swappable heads. So that's a plus. It's a breakthrough figure just because of that. But not I'm not too crazy about this design. I got the regular one. I also have the one that came with Thor. So this body, this figure, the accessories I already have. I only got it because it has Tony Stark's head, which is pretty cool. I guess if you're experimental enough, you could swap the head with other Iron Men. Maybe even figures from Iron Man 2, but I don't know. So the only con is that this is a figure, a body that we've seen too many times. Or I've seen. Iceman, I have no qualms with Iceman. I guess the I don't like the costume, this big axe and these silver things, but that's just me. I'm nitpicking. I would have rather preferred that he'd be all translucent and maybe have underwear that some that you can see, but the rest would be translucent. I would have liked the variant of Bobby in his X-Men costume. If you played Children of the Atom, you know that sometimes when he wins, he'll unfreeze, he'll de-ice himself, and he'll have this blue and dark blue, light blue costume on, which is pretty cool. But Iceman's okay. The figure's great. I already have an Iceman. I just wanted translucent Iceman. I don't know if this character is from an alternate universe though, because of the costume. We got Wolverine. I love Wolverine. I love me some Wolverine. He's the best there is. But when I was opening the package, I looked at my Wolverine's leg and I saw that it was warped. As you can see in the package, it was twisted like this. Another thing is the paint apps on Wolverine are kind of messy. I went into Target today to see if I could pick up another, and one had a number 5 stamped on his arm. Some others had like too much slop on his face. He has slop here, you can see on these tiger stripes, but I don't mind. It's Wolverine, and I'm glad he's gonna be a peg warmer, just like the first appearance Wolverine. But the only thing I don't like is this leg, and for some reason this hip ball joint I'm having trouble fixing, because I don't know if this blue part is supposed to face to the side or forward. It is kind of weird, because I know that these ball jointed hips, usually the joint is on the side. The legs would go out like this, but for some reason they painted it on the side and they have the hinges facing forward. That's really weird. As you can see, the joint is on the inside, so it was the paint guys that painted this wrong. Then we got Absorbing Man. He's good. He's a regular dude. No problems with articulation or with sculpt or paint, as far as I'm concerned. I think one of the other figures that I left had messed up eyes. But I took this guy. I like the stripes on the pants. The pants are nice and fat. His accessory is alright. I wish he can hold it. You can clip this in his hand, but you can't do a lot with it. You're gonna have to use maybe a base or some string. And lastly, we have Magneto. I have the Secret Wars Magneto still in package. The bad thing was that Magneto used the stubby Daredevil body, so a lot of people don't like that body. I haven't tried it out because I haven't opened any of the figures that I have that use that body. Maybe Black Panther from Target. But I love the AIM body, the AIM Ghost Rider body. It's pretty cool. But what I don't like is the colors. Eh, I mean, Magneto's a classic red and purple guy, but this look, I'm not familiar with it. That's that's the only problem I have. But in terms of articulation and posability, he's cool. The face is, even with the Secret Wars one, I have issues with the face because the other one looks cheesy, but this guy, he's just painted wrong. Like I mentioned before, it would have been cool if they did like with the mini mate and just color the whole thing black and show some teeth, but then they'd have to make a new sculpt. And if you did color this black and the helmet was black, it would look weird. Overall, I like this wave. There's a lot of figures here that have been released before. I think all of them. All of them have been released before. So if you're not a completist, you can skip this wave. But if you're a completist like me, I would buy it. If you don't have the money, I would recommend just get what you want. The figures that I wanted to get from this set were Iceman and Wolverine. If I couldn't get any others, just these guys I would have gotten. This is Aries 0083 with a review of Wave 16 of Marvel Universe. Leave a comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see if I can put a link to my Facebook. I need more friends because I'm a loser. See you guys. Bye.